Hey everybody, so I just wanted to jump on here and leave my review for It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is the continuation to It Ends With Us. And if you're not familiar with that book, just a little backstory, and I found this very fascinating, was that It Ends With Us initially published in, I believe, 2016, and it didn't really garner that much attention at the time. I think it got like a very moderate reception, but it wasn't until about 2 years ago, because of TikTok, that the book really blew up. Now on TikTok, there is a hashtag called Book Talk, and this is a chance for young readers and any reader really to kind of shine light on a lot of books, whether it's YA, romance, or things that have this like intense intrigue that really get attention. And It Ends With Us was amongst that list. And because of it, if you haven't already noticed at your local Target or Walmart, there is a shrine of all Colleen Hoover's books. And I had never heard of her until I saw like that display at the store. So I was very intrigued to see like, are these all books she's pumping out left and right? Or are these just all rebranded because she's become so popular? And it is because of the latter. Because of the success of It Ends With Us and how it's kind of gotten this resurgence out of nowhere, you know, her books are now being recognized in a whole new light, which I think is really exciting and a really great way to use social media. It's a great way to give authors a voice that maybe they didn't have before. And even though she's been cranking out books from about as early as I want to say 2013, I can't remember when she first published her first book, but it is now 2023 and her success is just continuing to blow up, which is wonderful. And if it weren't for that book talk, we would never have had this sequel. She had mentioned she didn't want to write a continuation, but because of the love and the fandom and the hype and just the demand of everyone who read the first one wanting to know more about these characters, she then felt inspired and inclined to kind of deliver to those fans. And that is why we have It Starts With Us. Now, just to give you a little bit of context, It Ends With Us is about a young woman named Lily Bloom, who's a florist. She falls in love with a really good-looking surgeon based on the description named Ryle Kincaid. And they have this really wonderful connection and a very interesting relationship that starts off. But you'll soon kind of realize that there is more to Ryle than meets the eye. He is somebody who is very abusive and has a lot of anger issues and hasn't really processed a lot of trauma that he's gone through as a child. And he has a lot of things that he needs to work through, which really just take a turn for the worst in terms of his relationship with Lily. Now, Lily also, throughout the course of this book, is able to kind of display old passages of a young boy that she was in love with when she was a teenager named Atlas. And so Atlas is more of a supporting character in It Ends With Us, where Ryle is kind of the leading man. And then in this version, we kind of see Atlas as now the leading man and Ryle is more of a supporting character. Now, if you've read It Ends With Us, you understand why that is, and I don't want to spoil it too much if you haven't read it, but I recommend you read that first in order to actually understand what's going on here in these characters. You'll have to read that one first. But I do think It Ends With Us was a better book. I really enjoyed just kind of the bigger impact of that one. And then I think this one, which I think is really, honorable. I think it's a worthy sequel. It's very fluffy. It's very lighthearted. There are a lot of dark elements to this one as well, but this one is definitely a lot more playful and giving us exactly what the fans wanted, which is to see Lily happy. After everything she went through in the first book, it is really nice to see her rekindling flame with Atlas in this one and just to see where their love goes and the story continues. So, do I think it's a great book? Not the best, but I definitely think it's a sequel that, by comparison to other sequels, this is a really good one. And it really had me smiling. I did roll my eyes like I did in the first one during this one at a few moments, but what are you gonna do? It's a cheese fest and I love cheese. So there you have it. I do recommend It Starts With Us. I'm very curious to know what your guys' opinion was on this one. Did you guys like it as much as the first book? Did you think the first one was better? Did you like this one more? What did you enjoy? And I'm very curious to see how the movie's gonna turn out now that they've listed the casting for our lead characters. They haven't listed the casting for Atlas, but I'm very curious to see who that's going to be. But anyway, I just want to know what you guys thought of this one, and do you think there should be a third? I'm kind of toying around with the idea that there doesn't need to be one, but I'd be very open to seeing a third book if Colleen Hoover has it in her to want to give us that. So let me know. And just again, compare and contrast. What were your thoughts from the first to the second? Which would you like better? And are you excited about the casting choices too? That's another trivia question I want to throw out there. But yeah, I do recommend It Starts With Us. Read It Ends With Us first and then jump into this one. It's a good time.